Welcome to another episode of the Next Gen Pod. It is your host, Ani Imana, with Joe Tipton and Jamie Shaw, the experts at On Three Rivals. I gotta make sure I say On Three and Rivals. You know what I mean? Like I gotta make sure I do. Well, anyways, guys, let's get to it. The Ratliff twins of Darius and Adonis have committed to USC. Joe, I know you got the breakdown. You got the rundown. I know you got all that. So what happened here?
Yeah, it's interesting because Alabama got first dibs, hosting them for an official visit first. They got family. I believe their father, Theo Ratliff, who played in the NBA, is from Alabama. So they get in. Obviously, the way the Ratliffs play, if you just search YouTube highlights, you're like, okay, yeah, this looks like players that might play at the University of Alabama with all the threes they like to shoot, and the versatility, right? So I personally thought, okay, like Alabama, like this just makes too much sense, like with the father, the play style, right? And then USC and Eric Musselman, they put the full court pressure on this kid. They were there at Border League, watching him. Musselman was there multiple days watching the Ratliff twins. And something I didn't know that that was shared with me was that Musselman coached Theo in the NBA. So I was like, okay, so there's a tie, there's some trust with the father there. And also, I think Musselman made these two brothers. He wanted to take both of them. I think they wanted to go to college together. So I think that was part of the decision-making process as well. But Musselman really prioritized these two together and was, hitting their phones all the time to make them a priority. So I think and they didn't even, the other finalists, Texas and Arkansas, they didn't even visit those schools. But regardless, huge pickup for USC and kind of a start in the right direction. Musselman's, struggled a little bit last season, but now getting the Ratliffs, is a step in the right way.
Yeah, and by the way, Theo is from Demopolis, Alabama.
There you go.
So, yeah, so I don't know where that is, but
Me either. And I'm from Alabama. I don't know where it is.
yeah, so there you go, there you go. That's the shout out to Musselman and USC for winning that, getting the twins
Mhm.
basically from Alabama. That's really impressive. So Jamie, um, talk about the twins. They've been a hot topic of conversation just, for these past few weeks at Border League, USA basketball. So how do they fit at USC with Eric Musselman?
Yeah, so you see a couple different things here. You see what with the twins, they've always had the skill set. They've always been tall, continuing to grow, but they've been fluid. The way they move is super unique. You see the skill set that they have, able to shoot and have good hands and touch and all that stuff with range that extends well beyond the 3 point line. Now it's just all about developing the strength and continuing consistency with staying on the floor when it comes to injuries and all that type of stuff. They were on a huge upward trajectory. This past season, around this time last year, you saw tons of recruitment coming in at this point in time this past season. Went through the season, injuries to Darius at the end of the season, plus both of them missing the majority of the summer, led to them, I don't want to say out of sight, out of mind, but other people who were playing their way into the higher offers and all that kind of put them a little bit to the side. Then you see them come back once schools are able to get um, on campuses and live recruit players. You see them pop up. Then all of a sudden you see Border League, you see USA basketball. Then all of a sudden it's like the trajectory is back up again. How do they fit with what Musselman does? Going even back to Arkansas, you saw Musselman with McDonald's All Americans. You saw the class that had Jordan Walsh and Nick Smith. You see, and then
Anthony Bynum.
Yeah.
and then last year they have Elijah Arenas, another McDonald's All American coming in. He's done a good job of recruiting the high level high school guys as well as um, patchworking it with the portal. Also, with Elijah Arenas this past year, Musselman coaches Gilbert in the NBA. He coached Theo with the Hawks 2001, 2002. He was assistant coach with the Hawks when Theo was on the team there. So there's a previous relationship there. Musselman bringing in players that he had that Ratliffs are super unique as players. I touched on their game a little bit earlier. 7 foot tall, both of them. They're both fluid movers. They're both able to dribble, shoot, and pat. They extend the floor. You have Adonis, who's a little bit more perimeter based, perimeter oriented. You have Darius, who can play a little bit on the inside while still stretching the floor as well. Being able to pull that type of gravity out at 7 foot tall, the things that you can do offensively, the creativity you can have offensively, is super unique. Being able to play the pick and pop style, being able to stretch the floor from the corners, being able to pop out, even with Adonis taking off the bounce for a couple dribbles. You have Darius who can play inside and outside. They both also have extra length on the defensive end of the floor, so you can do some creative things with 7 footers who are long and fluid on the defensive end of the floor as well. With them, it's all going to be about gaining the strength. How quickly can they gain strength and play with the physicality of what the college game comes is going to be. I know, Ani, you and I were sitting there at Board League with NBA scouts, just licking their chops watching them play. The same thing was happening at USA basketball. You just see them check off so many of the highest level boxes with the upside they have. Now they have a little bit of a runway to be able to get there. They're going to have to stay on the court, stay healthy, stay consistent with that. They're going to have to continue to get stronger, play through their base, get their platforms correct, and all that consistently. But the high level upside, the boxes they check at the highest level, off the charts. There are a couple guys, they can play in most systems. You can play them in a lot of different systems with what they bring to the table. With Musselman, especially, he likes to play guys, kind of get them out ISO, get downhill, and be able to self create, and then with spacing, the NBA style that he has. These guys provide spacing. Adonis can also create opportunities off the bounce as well. So lots of upside here. And again, just like Joe said, it was Musselman's relentless nature. From what I'm hearing, that they got it done. And it'll be very fun. These are two guys that'll be very fun to track as they move forward to the collegiate ranks and from there.
And I have a question, and it pertains to them, especially how they've been playing lately. It's been super impressive. Obviously, where they're ranked, in any national site is probably lower because they didn't really play much, right?
Mhm.
When it comes to guys like this, like obviously they're 7 foot, they can shoot it, they have skills. You see the upside because of their play late, they're gonna move up, right? And I do get this call. I just want to get y'all's opinion. They're gonna move up higher than guys that probably have had a longer resume, you could say, that maybe have a larger sample size. What is your take when people are like, well, why they move up? They just had, 30 days, where they were really good compared to we did this for a year. Like, well, how do what is y'all's take on stuff like that?
Yeah, that's a great one for you, Jamie.
Yeah. So when it came to us with our personal rankings, prior to their injuries and everything, we had both of them were in the top 35. So we had Darius pushing the top 20. We had Adonis kind of in that 30-35 range, and all that based on their upside, based on what they were able to see at that point in time. This was about a year ago, 10 to 12 months ago. They were about 6'10ish, 6'9, 6'10 in that range. So but there was questions. So the questions are what kind of made the volatility be there, because when you have questions about the strength and the consistency when it comes to that, then all of a sudden they hit into injuries. You almost panic, put in the panic mode. At least we did too much. Now coming back, you see all the upside that they had previously, and realize that panic mode was unjust or whatnot. So it's not like there was a immediate now. These past 30 days, they've been doing this for a while. Obviously, you have the growth that they've had, um, NBA pedigree, the size, the fluidity, the unique nature of what they have to check the top boxes. We at Rivals like the ranked players for the NBA level on draft night. Is essentially on draft night we want our number one ranked guy to go number one, number two to go number two, etc.
Mhm.
So when we look at that, it might not necessarily be what college production was. It's definitely not high school resume based, but it's draft night. Looking at these two guys, there's a lot of stuff that they check at the top levels of the box when it comes to fluidity, when it comes to the versatility they bring, when it comes to the length and advantages they're able to create within the offense, the floor spacing they're able to have, etc. So we had them ranked high. They didn't play for months on end, and now they're all of a sudden they're back. So it's not necessarily a 30-day type window that they're recruiting him with. It's a little bit more elongated viewings of it coming forward to where it's going to be at when we next update.
Perfect. Hey, you couldn't answer that better. That was great.
That's why I said it was one for Jamie.
Yeah, that was great. I wanted to throw you a curveball. That was great, Jamie. No, I appreciate that. No, and I think I agree. It's just like this isn't just a 30-day thing. Like these guys have shown their talent and ability for over a long time. They just didn't play. They were just hurt. So, you said it was unjust that, you had to no, they just didn't play. So, there was guys that were playing that were performing. So when they get back to playing, they'll be ranked accordingly how it is. But no, I think that was beautifully said. And for you listeners, I know y'all be wondering what did Jamie be thinking? What did Joe be thinking? There you go. Don't ask any more questions. But see you guys at the next episode. Appreciate you guys listening to the Next Gen Pod.